Chosen one, quiet your spirit for a moment and listen. You are not paranoid. You are not too sensitive. And you are certainly not crazy. That heavy feeling you get when a specific person walks into the room, that is not anxiety. That is your spiritual alarm system screaming at you. God guided you here to confirm what you already know deep in your gut. You are 100% right. But be careful. You think this person is trying to hurt you. No, it is much more strategic than that. They are trying to provoke you. They are a spiritual assignment sent to get a reaction out of you, to make you step out of your character just moments before your biggest breakthrough arrives. Lock your focus right now. Do not let your mind wander, because we are about to decode their trap so you can walk right past it. Before we expose exactly who this is and the trap they have set for you, I need you to make a decision. This is a spiritual briefing, not entertainment. If you are ready to receive the truth that will vindicate you, subscribe to lock in your position in this collective of awakened souls. Like this video to signal to the algorithm of the universe that you are ready for the truth, and comment "I am awake" to activate your spiritual discernment right now. And listen to me closely. Do not leave halfway through this message, because by the end of this video, I am not just going to tell you why this is happening. I am going to hand you the exact 7-part playbook this enemy is using against you, and we are going to perform a sealing ceremony that locks them out of your energy field for the next 40 days. You need the full protocol to win this. So, stay with me. Let us go to that moment. You know the one. Maybe it is at your workplace, inside that conference room with the glass walls. Or maybe it is at your own family dinner table. The air in the room feels normal. Everyone is talking. Everyone is laughing. But then, this person walks in. Notice what happens to your body instantly. You do not even have to look at them to know they are there. The hair on the back of your neck stands up. Your stomach drops like you missed a step on a staircase. Your throat tightens, just a little bit, like someone has gently placed a hand around it. You find yourself holding your breath, waiting for something, even though they have not said a word yet. You look at them, and they smile at you. It looks like a polite smile. To everyone else in the room, it looks like friendship. But you see it. You see the coldness behind the eyes. You feel the sharp edge hidden inside the greeting. And in your mind, you start to panic. You think, am I making this up? Am I being judgmental? You try to force yourself to relax. You force a smile back. You engage in small talk, but every word they say feels like it is draining the life out of you. You leave that interaction feeling exhausted, like you just ran a marathon, even though you just sat in a chair for 10 minutes. You have been telling yourself that you are the problem. You have been telling yourself to stop being so suspicious. But I am here to tell you to stop gaslighting yourself. That exhaustion is not a coincidence. That physical reaction is not a mistake. That is your spirit detecting a counterfeit. The Bible speaks about this exact dynamic in Psalm 55. Most people quote this verse without knowing the story behind it. King David wrote, "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." Now, David was not writing this about a stranger. He was not writing this about an enemy soldier on a battlefield. He was writing this about Ahithophel. Ahithophel was not just a guy. He was David's counselor, his advisor, his friend. He was the one David ate dinner with, the one David trusted with his secrets. The betrayal did not come from a distance. It came from the seat right next to him. That is why you feel so conflicted. Because the person targeting you right now is not a stranger. They are close. They might have access to your home, your phone number, or your daily routine. And just like Ahithophel, their words are smooth. They know how to say the right things in public. They know how to play the victim. They know how to make you look like the aggressor if you react. So let me be clear. You are valid. Your discernment is functioning perfectly. That somatic twist in your gut is the Holy Spirit warning you that war is in their heart, even if butter is in their mouth. But now that you know who it is, and you know that the feeling is real, the biggest question is still unanswered. Why now? Why has this intensified so much in the last few days? Why does it feel like they are pressing you harder than ever before? There are 3 strategic reasons for this timing, and the third one will send a chill down your spine because it reveals exactly what is coming next. The first reason is what I call frequency envy. You need to understand that this attack is not about your personality, and it is certainly not about something you did wrong. You have been racking your brain, replaying conversations, trying to figure out where you offended them. But you are looking for a logical reason in a spiritual war. This person does not hate you. In fact, if you ask them, they probably could not even explain why they are so irritated by you. They hate the light that you carry. It is a biological and spiritual reaction. When you walk into a room carrying the heavy, weighty glory of God, it agitates the demons that are dormant in them. Your peace highlights their chaos. Your silence highlights their noise. Your purity highlights their compromise. They are not reacting to your words. They are reacting to your frequency. It burns them. The Bible shows us this dynamic clearly in Genesis 26 with Isaac. Most people skip over this part of Isaac's life, but look at the context. Isaac was prospering in a land of famine. He was sowing and reaping 100-fold while everyone else was starving. And the Philistines, the people of the land, did not just attack him physically. They stopped up his wells. Now, think about the logic of that. Water is life. In a desert, water is the most valuable resource. A rational person would steal the wells. They would take the water for themselves. But the Philistines filled the wells with dirt. This is the key. They did not want the water. They just did not want Isaac to have it. That is frequency envy. It is destructive, not acquisitive. The person targeting you right now is stopping up your wells of joy. Not because they want your joy, but because seeing you happy makes them miserable. They are filling your day with the dirt of petty arguments and passive-aggressive comments just to stop your flow. The second reason is the transition. The enemy does not waste ammunition on targets that are standing still. If you were stagnant, if you were stuck in a loop of failure, this person would probably leave you alone. They might even be nice to you, because a broken chosen one is no threat to the kingdom of darkness. But the fact that the attacks have intensified right now is the greatest sign that you are standing at a threshold. You are about to cross over into a new dimension of your purpose. You are about to receive a download, a resource, or a connection that will change the trajectory of your lineage. This person is the gatekeeper of the old season. Their job is to create enough friction, enough noise, and enough emotional turbulence that you get distracted and miss the window of opportunity. They are not trying to stop you from working. They are trying to stop you from crossing over. But here is the third reason, and this is the one that should make you sit up straight. This is the reason that explains the bizarre, draining feeling you get when you are around them. It is the energy harvest. You have asked yourself why they keep provoking you. Why do they push buttons that they know will upset you? Why do they bring up old history just when things are going well? You think they are just being difficult. You think they are just grumpy. But you are missing the mechanism. They are feeding. We need to understand the concept of the spiritual parasite. This person, whether they are conscious of it or not, is operating with an empty spiritual tank. They have no connection to the source. Their lamp has run out of oil. And you, chosen one, you are overflowing. You are a walking generator of divine energy. When they provoke you, when they get you to snap, to cry, to defend yourself, or even just to ruminate on them for hours, you are releasing energy, that emotion you feel leaving your body. That is food. They provoke you because they need a reaction to sustain themselves. Have you ever noticed that after a big argument where you are left shaking and exhausted, they seem calm, they seem energized? They might even go eat a sandwich or watch TV like nothing happened. You are destroyed, and they are replenished. That is not a coincidence. That is a transfer. You just paid their spiritual bill with your peace. Let me tell you about a woman I worked with. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah was a brilliant creative director, a true chosen one with a massive vision. About 3 years ago, she was next in line for a promotion that would have put her in charge of her own division. It was the breakthrough she had been praying for. But right around that time, a new manager came into her department. This manager was the definition of an energy harvester. He would make subtle digs at Sarah in meetings. He would forget to invite her to important email chains. He would smile to her face and then question her competence to her team. Sarah did what most of us do. She fought back. She thought this was a battle for her reputation. She started documenting everything. She stayed up late writing long, defensive emails explaining why she was right and he was wrong. She spent her lunch breaks venting to her co-workers about how unfair he was. She went home and complained to her husband for hours about this man. For 3 months, Sarah gave this man everything she had. She gave him her focus. She gave him her emotional stability. She gave him her sleep. And do you know what happened? She became bitter. She became reactive. In meetings, she looked unhinged because she was so desperate to prove him wrong. The executives didn't see a leader. They saw someone who couldn't handle pressure. The manager? He stayed calm. He looked professional. He fed off her chaos. When the promotion cycle came, Sarah didn't get it. They gave it to someone else, someone less qualified, but someone who looked stable. Sarah lost that opportunity. She stayed stuck in that same position for 3 more years, looping around the same mountain, all because she didn't understand that the battle wasn't about her competence, it was about her energy. The trap was never about who was right. The trap was the reaction itself. If Sarah had known what you are learning right now, she would have starved him. She would have withheld her reaction. She would have kept her energy for her vision, not her defense. But she engaged, and she paid the price. This is the witness moment you need to let sink into your spirit. Look at your own life right now. Look at that person who is triggering you. How much time have you spent thinking about them today? How many imaginary arguments have you had with them in the shower? How much of your precious, anointed energy have you funneled into the black hole of their dysfunction? Every minute you spend trying to figure them out is a minute you are not building your future. Every ounce of emotion you pour into defending yourself is an ounce of fuel you are stealing from your own destiny. They are harvesting you, and you are serving yourself up on a platter. But here is where everything changes. You might be sitting there thinking that this person is powerful. You might be thinking that because they have the ability to disrupt your peace, they must be strong. You might be intimidated by their malice. But you have been deceived. You have bought into the illusion. You think they are attacking you because they are giants? No. That is the great deception. The truth about their strength is going to shock you, because once you see what is really happening behind the curtain, you will never be afraid of them again. Let me show you how weak they truly are. You have spent so many nights lying awake, staring at the ceiling, trying to wrap your head around the cruelty of it all. You ask yourself why they hate you so much. You tell yourself it is because you are too kind. It is because you are too generous. You tell yourself that they hate you because you are good and they are evil. This is the story you have built to survive the pain. It comforts you. It makes you the martyr. It makes sense of the suffering. You tell yourself that you are being attacked because you are shining too bright, and the darkness just cannot stand it. And you are right, to a degree. But that is not the whole truth. That is the comfortable truth. That is the surface-level explanation that keeps you feeling like a victim. But I am not here to comfort you with half-truths. I am here to liberate you with the whole, raw, jagged reality. So let us go deeper. Let us shatter the illusion right now. They do not hate you because you are good. They do not attack you because they are strong. They attack you because they are terrified of you. Stop and let that sink into your spirit. The person you have been losing sleep over, the person who seems to hold so much power over your emotions, is trembling on the inside. You see a giant, they see a conqueror. You see their anger. They feel their own inadequacy. We see this dynamic played out with absolute precision in 1 Samuel chapter 18. We all know the story of David and Saul, but we often miss the psychological breakdown of the villain. The Bible says that after David killed Goliath, the women danced and sang, saying, "Saul has slain his thousands, and David his tens of thousands." And Saul was very angry. But read verse 12 carefully. It does not say Saul hated David. It says Saul was afraid of David, because the Lord was with him, but had departed from Saul. The Hebrew word used there for afraid is yare. It does not just mean being scared like you are scared of a spider. It means to stand in awe, to be revered, to be overwhelmed by a presence that is superior to your own. Saul looked at this shepherd boy, and he did not see a kid. He saw the anointing that he himself had lost. He saw the future king. He saw the favor of God resting so heavily on David that it physically intimidated him. That is what is happening to you. The person attacking you is suffering from spiritual intimidation. They are looking at you, and whether they can articulate it or not, they see the favor of God. They see the glow. They see the inevitable promotion on your life. And it reminds them of everything they have lost. It reminds them of the potential they wasted. It reminds them of the relationship with God they refused to cultivate. When they lash out at you, they are not attacking you. They are attacking the reflection of their own failure that they see in your eyes. This is psychological projection at its finest. Every accusation they throw at you is actually a confession about themselves. When they call you fake, they are revealing their own inauthenticity. When they call you selfish, they are exposing their own greed. When they try to control you, it is because they have lost control over themselves. So change your perspective right now. In your mind's eye, I want you to shrink them down. Take that giant image of them that has been dominating your thoughts and reduce it to its actual size. See them for what they are. A scared, insecure soul standing in the shadow of a giant. And the giant is you. But this brings us to the most disturbing question of all. The question that keeps the deepest believers awake at night. If you are God's chosen one, if you are covered by the blood, if you have angels encamped around you, then why is this person allowed to touch you? Who let them in? You have rebuked the devil. You have bound the spirits. You have prayed for protection, and yet they are still there. They are still provoking. They are still draining. So you assume the enemy must be stronger than your prayers. Or you assume you must have done something wrong to open a door. Prepare yourself, because what I am about to tell you is going to challenge your theology, but it will save your destiny. You want to know who sent them? You want to know who signed the permission slip for this person to torment you? It wasn't the devil. It was God. I know that hits hard. I know everything in you wants to reject that. You want to scream that God is love, that God would never allow this pain. But listen to me. God is not just love. God is a strategic father. And right now, He is loving you enough to make you uncomfortable. Look at the pattern. Look at the timeline. You have been in this current season for too long. You have gotten comfortable. You have settled for a level of living that is far below what was written for you in the books of heaven. You have built a nice, cozy nest in a place where you were only supposed to camp for a night. You stopped growing. You stopped stretching. You started to think that this was it. And because God loves you too much to let you die in potential, He sent a thorn. He allowed this person to enter your life. Or He allowed their behavior to turn toxic for one specific purpose: divine displacement. Think about the mother eagle. When it is time for the eaglets to fly, she does not just ask them nicely. She does not put her treats on the edge of the branch. They are comfortable in the nest. It is warm. It is safe. They have no reason to leave. So, do you know what the mother eagle does? She begins to stir up the nest. She pulls out the soft fur and the feathers that line the bottom, exposing the sharp sticks and the thorns underneath. Suddenly, the place that was their sanctuary becomes a place of torment. The eaglet tries to sit, but it hurts. It tries to sleep, but it gets poked. It becomes so unbearable, so painful, so miserable, that the eaglet finally decides that the fear of jumping is less than the pain of staying. This person is your sharp stick. This person is the thorn in your nest. If they were nice to you, you would never leave. If they validated you, you would stay in that dead-end job, that dead relationship, that stagnant city forever. You would settle for mediocrity because it felt safe. So God withdrew His hand of protection just enough to let their toxicity touch you. He allowed them to become unbearable. He allowed them to betray you. He allowed them to provoke you, not to destroy you, but to make you so uncomfortable that you are finally willing to spread your wings and fly into the destiny He planned for you. We see this divine necessity in Luke chapter 22. We vilify Judas. We call him the son of perdition. And he was. Satan entered him. But do not forget who authorized the transaction. At the Last Supper, Jesus knew exactly who Judas was. He knew exactly what Judas was about to do. And yet, Jesus dipped the bread and gave it to him. And then Jesus said words that should shake you. He said, "What you are about to do quickly." Jesus gave the command. Jesus initiated the sequence. Why? Because Jesus knew that without Judas, there is no arrest. Without the arrest, there is no trial. Without the trial, there is no cross. And without the cross, there is no resurrection. Judas was not a mistake. Judas was a transport system. He was the vehicle that moved Jesus from the upper room to the throne room. Chosen one, the person attacking you right now, is your Judas. They are not blocking your destiny, they are unlocking it. They are the catalyst that forces you to move. They are the pressure that turns the coal into a diamond. So, I want you to do something right now in your spirit. It is going to feel counterintuitive. It is going to feel like the opposite of everything you want to do. But I want you to stop fighting the reality of their presence. Stop asking God to remove them before the work is done. Instead, I want you to shift your focus to the door they are pushing you towards. Ask God, where are you trying to move me? What nest are you trying to push me out of? Because the moment you decide to move, the moment you decide to fly, the thorn becomes useless. The stick has done its job. The enemy loses his power the second you learn the lesson he was sent to teach. You are not a victim of a bad person. You are a student of a severe mercy. God is using their malice to construct your majesty. He is using their provocation to produce your promotion. But this brings us to the practical reality. If God has allowed them to be here to trigger you, to test you, to push you, then you need to know exactly how they are going to operate. You cannot just hope for the best. You need intelligence. You need to know the enemy's moves before he makes them. Because if this is a divine setup, then the enemy has a very specific playbook. He is not attacking you randomly. He is using a 7-part strategy designed to dismantle you piece by piece. And the terrifying part is, the first move of this strategy is likely already happening. It is not happening in your emotions. It is not happening in your relationships. It is happening in a place you might not expect. It is happening in your resources. So, if God allowed them to be the thorn to activate you, what exactly will they do next? The enemy has a playbook containing 7 specific forms of provocation, and the first form might be unfolding right now inside your bank account. The first form of provocation is what I call the bait of offense. This is the most common and the most subtle form of attack. It usually happens when you are feeling good, when you are in a high vibration. You might share a small win, or simply walk into the room with a smile. And then, this person drops a comment. It is never a direct insult. If it were a direct insult, it would be easy to handle. No, it is a comment wrapped in plausible deniability. They might say something like, "Oh, you look tired today. Are you okay?" Or they might say, "Must be nice to have so much free time to work on your little projects." On the surface, it sounds like concern. It sounds like observation. But your spirit catches the snag. You feel the barb hidden in the bait. They are implying you look terrible. They are implying your passion is a hobby. They are implying you are lazy. Does this sound familiar? The trap here is not the comment itself. The trap is your need to correct them. The enemy wants you to stop what you are doing and explain yourself. He wants you to say, "Actually, I am not tired. I am just focused." Or, "Actually, my project is becoming a business." The moment you start explaining, you have swallowed the bait. You have come down from your wall. We see this tactic used against Nehemiah in the Old Testament. Nehemiah was rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem, doing a great work for God. His enemies, Sanballat and Tobiah, did not attack the wall with hammers. They attacked Nehemiah with invitations. 4 times they sent a message saying, "Come down to the plain of Ono, let us meet together." It sounded like a diplomatic invitation. It sounded reasonable. But Nehemiah discerned the frequency. He knew that the purpose of the meeting was not to talk. The purpose was to stop the building. His response is the only response you should ever give to the bait of offense. He said, "I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down." He did not argue. He did not explain why the wall was important. He simply refused to leave his high position to engage in a low conversation. So how do you win against the bait? You refuse to swallow it. When they drop that passive-aggressive comment, you do not explain. You do not defend. You treat their comment like a noise in the street. You hear it, but you do not turn your head. You stay on your wall. The second form of provocation is the comparison trap, and this one often hits your finances or your status. The enemy knows that, right now, You are in a transition. You might be spiritually rich but financially tight. You are investing in a vision that hasn't paid off yet. You are living by faith, which often looks like struggle to the outside world. So this person will trigger your insecurity about your progress. They might flash their new car. They might talk loudly about their promotion. Or they might ask you intrusive questions about your finances, disguised as worry. They might say, "I am just worried about how you are going to pay the bills with that dream of yours." Does this sound familiar? They are trying to make you look at their harvest while you are still planting your seeds. They want you to feel small. They want you to question if God is really with you. If God is with me, why is their bank account full and mine is empty? But listen to me. This is a mirage. The enemy often funds those who are going nowhere because comfort is the best way to kill a calling. They have their reward in full. But you are building equity in a kingdom that cannot be shaken. How do you win against the comparison? You shift your internal definition of wealth. You look at them and realize that what they have is depreciating, but what you carry is eternal. You silence the urge to prove your success. You do not flash your bank account. You do not talk about your big plans to impress them. You hold your vision close. Let them think you are struggling. Let them think you are behind. The element of surprise will be your greatest weapon when your harvest finally comes in. The third form is the silent treatment. This is perhaps the most painful because it attacks your need for connection. You walk into the room and the temperature drops 10 degrees. They stop talking. They avoid eye contact. They answer your questions with one word. It is a cold war. Does this sound familiar? They are waiting for you to break. They want you to ask, "What is wrong?" They want you to chase them. They want you to apologize for something you didn't do just to bring the temperature back up. They are withholding love to punish you for your light. This is a manipulation tactic designed to make you responsible for their emotions. If you chase them, you are validating their control. If you beg for their attention, you are handing over your crown. So how do you win? You enjoy the silence. This is the hardest thing to do, but it is the most powerful. When they go silent, do not fill the void. Do not ask what is wrong. Do not try to be extra nice to win them back. Use that silence to listen to God. Use that silence to work on your vision. Let the room be cold. You carry your own fire. You do not need their warmth to survive. If you can stay happy, unbothered, and productive while they are ignoring you, you break the spell. They will eventually have to speak because their silence didn't work. But be warned. These three forms of provocation are just the emotional jabs. They are designed to get under your skin. But the next two forms are different. These three were about your feelings. But the attacks I am about to reveal are far more dangerous because they do not just target your emotions, they target your reputation and your very identity. These are the heavy artillery, and you need to know exactly what they look like before they hit. The fourth form of provocation is public undermining. This is distinct from the private jabs we talked about earlier. This is a theatrical performance designed for an audience. The enemy knows that you are building authority. They know that people are starting to respect you, listen to you, and look to you for answers. And nothing threatens an insecure spirit more than seeing you walk in authority. So they will wait for a moment when all eyes are on you. Maybe you are presenting an idea in a meeting. Maybe you are telling a story at a family dinner. Maybe you are leading a prayer. And right when you are in your flow, right when you are shining, they will interrupt. They will say something like, "Actually, I do not think that is quite right." Or they will say, Let me clarify what they are trying to say. They might even laugh at a serious moment to break your momentum. They are trying to father you in public. They are trying to position themselves as the teacher and you as the student, stripping you of your credibility in real time. Does this sound familiar? The trap here is the fight for dominance. Your flesh wants to snap back. You want to humiliate them in return. You want to pull out your receipts and prove that you know what you are talking about. But if you engage in a public wrestling match, you both get muddy. They want to drag you down to their level so that the audience cannot tell the difference between the chosen one and the petty one. How do you win? You do not wrestle. You hold your frame. When they interrupt, you stop. You look at them with absolute silence for 3 seconds. You let their interruption hang in the air until it becomes awkward for them, not you. And then, without acknowledging their correction, you continue speaking exactly where you left off. You signal to the room that their input was unauthorized and irrelevant. You maintain your throne by refusing to step down into the pit. The fifth form is the most dangerous of all. This is the false accusation. This is when they stop attacking your competence and start attacking your character. They will accuse you of the very things they are guilty of. They will call you a liar. They will call you a manipulator. They will tell people you stole from them or that you betrayed them. This hurts the most because you value your integrity above everything else. You have spent years building a clean heart before God. To have someone smear dirt on your white robe feels like a spiritual violation. We see the archetype of this attack in Genesis 39 with Joseph and Potiphar's wife. Joseph was a man of integrity. He served Potiphar faithfully. But Potiphar's wife wanted to consume him. When he refused to compromise his purity, she did not just get mad, she framed him. She took his cloak, the evidence of his presence, and used it to construct a lie. She told the servants, "Look, this Hebrew came in to mock us." She turned the victim into the villain. Notice what Joseph did. The Bible does not record Joseph arguing with Potiphar. It does not record him trying to convince the other servants of his innocence. He was thrown into prison, and he went. Why? Because Joseph knew a spiritual law that you need to learn right now. He knew that the truth has a voice of its own. If Joseph had screamed and fought, he might have looked guilty. But by walking into the prison with his head high, he preserved his anointing. And because he passed that test of accusation, God promoted him from the prison to the palace. The enemy uses false accusation to get you to act out of character. He wants you to become so defensive, so angry, and so loud in your own defense that you actually start to look like the crazy person they are accusing you of being. How do you win? You let your reputation die. I know that sounds terrifying, but you have to trust that God is your PR manager. If God allowed the lie to spread, it is because He is filtering your circle. The people who believe the lie were never meant to go with you to the palace. Let them go. The truth will eventually surface, and it will be louder than their lie ever was. The sixth form is the ghost. This usually happens after you have been generous to them. You helped them move. You loaned them money. You listened to their problems for hours. And then, when you need them, or even just when you reach out to say hello, silence. They vanish. They leave you on read. They ignore your calls. They show up online, posting and laughing with others, while you sit there wondering what you did wrong. This is the rejection trigger. They are trying to make you feel unworthy of basic respect. They want you to chase them for closure. They want you to internalize their absence as your failure. How do you win? You do not chase ghosts, you bury them. You accept their absence as the closure. You realize that their exit is not a rejection, it is an eviction notice served by God. The trash took itself out. Do not bring it back inside. And finally, the seventh form is identity confusion. This is the ultimate goal of all the previous forms combined. After the jabs, the comparisons, the silence, the undermining, the accusations, and the ghosting, you reach a point where you look in the mirror and say, maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the narcissist. Maybe I am toxic. Maybe I am not chosen. This is the whisper of the serpent in the garden. Did God really say? Did God really choose you? They project their dysfunction onto you so heavily that you start to wear it. You start analyzing your own behavior through their broken lens. You start apologizing for things you didn't do. You start shrinking just to fit into their reality. Does this sound familiar? If you are feeling this confusion right now, I need you to place your hand on your chest and take a breath. Listen to me. The fact that you are even asking the question, am I the problem, proves that you are not. A true narcissist never asks that question. A true toxic person never worries about their impact on others. The confusion is not yours. It is a spell, and we are breaking it right now. Look at the pattern. Look at the map we just drew. The bait, the comparison, the silence, the undermining, the accusation, the ghosting, the confusion. Do you see the thread connecting them all? None of these are random. None of these are about bad communication. They all have one singular, demonic purpose: provocation. They are all designed to pull you out of the spirit and into the flesh. They are designed to make you trade your peace for their chaos. They are designed to get you to open your mouth and speak a curse over your own life. But now you see it. You see the game board. You see the pieces moving. You know exactly what they are doing. And because you know, they can no longer surprise you. When the accusation comes, you will say, "Ah, that is form number 5. When the silence comes, you will say, "There is form number 3. You will not react. You will observe. However, observation alone is not enough. You can see the trap and still fall into it if you do not have the strength to hold your ground. You need a way to completely neutralize their attacks. You need a way to make yourself invisible to their radar. Now that you have the enemy's map, you need a weapon. And I am going to give you one. It is an ancient spiritual weapon that the greatest prophets and kings have used for thousands of years. It is simple. It requires no money. It requires no physical strength. But I must warn you, your ego is going to hate it. Your flesh is going to scream against it. It will feel like you are losing, right up until the moment you win. The weapon I am handing you is strategic silence. But before you dismiss this as passive or weak, you need to understand the power of what I am asking you to do. This is not the silence of a coward. This is the silence of a king. This is the silence of a queen who knows that their authority does not come from the opinions of peasants. I want to tell you about a man named Marcus. Marcus is a chosen one, just like you. 6 months ago, the enemy launched a form number 5 attack against him. A false accusation. Marcus was a high-level director at his company, a man of absolute integrity. But a colleague, someone he had actually mentored, started a whisper campaign. They spread a rumor that Marcus was mishandling company funds. It was a lie from the pit of hell. It was calculated, it was malicious, and it spread like wildfire. When Marcus found out, his first instinct was exactly what yours would be. He was furious. He felt the heat rise in his chest. He stayed up all night drafting a 10-page email, attaching spreadsheets, bank statements, and timestamps. He was ready to go to war. He was ready to sue. He was ready to burn the entire department down to clear his name. But the next morning, right before he hit send on that email, he felt a check in his spirit. It was a heavy, physical weight on his hands. He heard a still, small voice say, "Do not send it. Do not speak." Marcus argued with God. He said, "Lord, if I do not speak, they will think I am guilty. If I do not defend myself, the lie wins." But the instruction was clear. Hold your peace. So Marcus did the hardest thing a human being can do. He went to work. He sat in meetings with the very people who were lying about him. He saw the side eyes. He heard the whispers stop when he entered the room. He felt the judgment, and he said nothing. He did not defend. He did not explain. He did not pull anyone aside to tell his side of the story. He told me later that it felt like dying. Every cell in his body wanted to scream. His ego was thrashing around like a wild animal in a cage, begging to be let out to fight. But he kept the cage locked. He did his work with excellence, and he went home. For 3 weeks, he lived in the fire. And then the shift happened. Without Marcus saying a word, an external audit was triggered by the headquarters. They were not looking for the lie. They were just doing a routine check. But because Marcus had stepped out of the way, God had room to step in. The audit uncovered a discrepancy. But it wasn't Marcus. The digital trail led straight back to the colleague who had started the rumor. It turned out the accuser was projecting their own theft onto Marcus. The truth came out with such precision that it terrified everyone in the office. The colleague was fired and escorted out of the building. Marcus was not only vindicated, he was promoted to the position the accuser had vacated. When the CEO called Marcus in to apologize, he asked him, "Why didn't you defend yourself? We would have believed you." And Marcus said, "Because I knew that if I spoke, I would only be defending my past. But by staying silent, I was securing my future. Now, I want you to look at your own situation. I know what you are thinking. You are listening to this, and your mind is rejecting it. You are saying, 'That is a nice story, but you do not know my enemy. You do not know what they said about me. If I stay silent, I will lose my children. If I stay silent, I will lose my job. If I stay silent, I look weak.' Let us go deeper into the shadow. Let us look at why this is so painful for you. You are addicted to justice. You have a core belief that says you are the guardian of your own glory. You believe that if you do not balance the scales, nobody will. You are terrified that if you do not correct the record, the lie will become the truth forever. This is the addiction. You crave the feeling of being right more than you crave the blessing of being promoted. But here is the spiritual reality you need to grasp. When you defend yourself, you are firing your attorney. The Bible gives us a legal precedent in Exodus 14 verse 14. The Israelites were trapped at the Red Sea. The Egyptian army was behind them, that is the enemy chasing you. The sea was in front of them, that is the impossibility of your situation. They were panicking, they were screaming, they wanted to fight, or they wanted to surrender. And Moses gave them a command that defies all human logic. He said, "The Lord will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace." In the original Hebrew, the phrase, "hold your peace," comes from the word karash. It implies a specific kind of silence. It means to be deaf, to be dumb, to be silent. But it also has a root meaning that translates to plowing or engraving. This is the revelation. When you are silent, you are not doing nothing. You are plowing the ground for God to move. When you shut your mouth, you open the courts of heaven. Imagine a courtroom right now. Close your eyes if it helps you focus. Visualize the Supreme Court of the universe. The judge is sitting on the throne. The enemy is there, the accuser, shouting lies, pointing fingers, bringing up your past, trying to provoke you. You are standing at the defendant's table. Every time you stand up to shout objection, every time you try to argue with the accuser, the judge looks at you and says, "Sit down. As long as you are speaking, I cannot issue a verdict. As long as you are trying to be the lawyer, I cannot be the judge." Your silence is the legal maneuver that hands the case file over to God. It is you sitting down, folding your hands, and saying, "Your Honor, I rest my case. I trust you to handle this." It takes a warrior to remain silent when they have the power to destroy the other person with the truth. It takes a king to look at a peasant throwing mud and refuse to wipe it off because he knows the rain is coming. You are not weak for not responding. You are terrified because you think your silence is empty, but your silence is heavy. It is loud in the spirit realm. When you stop talking to the enemy, you start talking to God. And when God stands up to address your accuser, the battle is over in seconds. So, are you willing to fire yourself as the defense attorney? Are you willing to stop trying to manage the perception of people who are committed to misunderstanding you? Are you willing to let the lie live for a moment so that the truth can live forever? I can feel your spirit wrestling. I can feel the yes rising up, but your flesh is still trembling. You are ready to sit down in the courtroom. You want to trust the judge, but your body is practically vibrating with the urge to do something. You are asking, how? How do I physically keep my mouth shut when every cell in my body wants to scream? How do I sleep when my mind is racing with arguments? You need a protocol. You need a step-by-step mechanism to override your biology when the provocation hits. And that is exactly what I am going to give you next. The protocol I am about to give you is called the Sanctuary Protocol. It is a spiritual adaptation of a psychological method known as the Grey Rock Method, but we are taking it deeper. We are not just managing behavior, we are managing spirits. This protocol has 3 specific steps. You must follow them in order, and you must follow them every single time you feel the provocation rising. Step 1 is the sacred pause. When the attack happens, when they make that comment, when they send that text, when they roll their eyes, your biology will scream at you to react immediately. Your cortisol will spike. Your brain will instantly formulate a comeback. You will feel the words rushing to your throat like vomit. Do not speak. In that moment, I want you to physically close your mouth and count to 5 in your spirit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not just counting. This is a manual override of your nervous system. You are telling your amygdala that you are safe. You are telling your flesh that it is not in charge. In those 5 seconds, you are stepping out of the timeline of the enemy and stepping into the timeline of God. You are taking the oxygen away from the fire. Step 2 is the disconnect. After the pause, you must sever the energetic cord. Imagine right now that there is a thick, glowing cable connecting your solar plexus to theirs. That is the channel through which they are draining you. In your mind's eye, I want you to visualize a sword of blue flame coming down and slicing that cord. Cut it. Watch it snap back. Now, become the Grey Rock. This means you become the most uninteresting person on the planet. If you must answer them, use one word. Okay. Interesting. I see. Do not offer information. Do not show emotion on your face. Do not sigh. Do not roll your eyes. Become as smooth, cold, and impenetrable as a stone. A stone has no hooks. A stone gives no fuel. When they throw their emotional, chaotic waves against a stone, the waves just break. and the stone remains dry. Step 3 is the internal blessing. This is the advanced level. This is where you move from defense to offense. While you are standing there, stone-faced and silent, I want you to bless them in your mind. I do not mean you have to agree with them. I do not mean you have to like them. I mean you use your authority to speak over them. Say internally, Lord, I bless this person with peace. I bless them with healing so they do not have to hurt me anymore. Why would you do this? Because you cannot be cursed and bless at the same time. The moment you release a blessing, you create a spiritual force field around yourself that their negativity cannot penetrate. You are not blessing them for their sake. You are blessing them to keep your own spirit clean. You are heaping burning coals on their head, which in Scripture means you are melting their stony heart with kindness, or at the very least, you are burning up their ability to affect you. Now, listen to me, because this leads us to the Scripture that anchors this entire strategy. Isaiah 54, verse 17. You know it, you have quoted it. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. But notice the wording. It says, the weapon will be formed. It does not say the weapon will not exist. The lie will be told. The trap will be set. The provocation will happen. The weapon is formed. But the promise is that it shall not prosper. How does a weapon prosper? It prospers when it hits its target. It prospers when it gets a reaction. It prospers when it successfully drains your energy. When you use the sanctuary protocol, when you pause, disconnect, and bless, you are dismantling the weapon mid-flight. The arrow is fired, but it hits a gray rock and falls harmlessly to the ground. You have nullified the assignment against you. However, I must give you a final, critical warning. And if you forget everything else in this video, remember this. When you start doing this, when you stop feeding them your energy, they are going to starve. And a starving spirit is a desperate spirit. They will try to hoover you back in. This is the relapse trap. Suddenly, they will become nice again. They will bring you gifts. They will reminisce about the good old days. They will play the victim and tell you how hard their life is, trying to trigger your empathy. They will say, I miss you. I miss us. Do not fall for it. This is not repentance. This is a reloading phase. They are trying to lower your drawbridge so they can get back inside the castle to steal more oil. You are a chosen one, which means you have a heart of gold. You want to save everyone. You want to believe the best in people. But you cannot save a drowning man who is trying to climb on top of your head to breathe. If you let them back in without true demonstrated change over a long period of time, you will drown with them. Do not go back to the vomit. Do not rebuild the wall you just tore down. Keep your peace. Keep your distance. Keep your silence. You now have the knowledge. You understand the mechanism of the energy harvest. You have the map of the 7 forms of provocation. You have the weapon of strategic silence. And you have the sanctuary protocol to protect your peace. But knowledge alone is not enough. Power must be sealed. We need to lock this truth into your spirit so deep that the enemy cannot steal it the moment you close this video. We need to establish a perimeter around your life for the next season of your breakthrough. I want you to get ready. If you are lying down, sit up. If you are sitting, stand up. We are about to enter the throne room to finalize this decree. We are going to perform a sealing ceremony that ensures the enemy cannot touch you for the next 40 days. Now, we are going to seal this. We are not just going to close this video. We are going to lock this truth into your spirit so deep that the enemy cannot steal it the moment you turn away from this screen. We are going to establish a perimeter around your life for the next season of your breakthrough. I need you to shift your internal posture right now. If you are lying down, do not move your body, but command your spirit to stand at attention. If you are driving, keep your eyes on the road, but open the eyes of your spirit. Visualize yourself stepping out of the chaos of your emotions and stepping onto the glass floor of the throne room. Silence your mind. Silence the arguments. Silence the need for justice. Bring your attention to the center of your chest. Take a deep breath in, inhaling the peace that surpasses understanding, and exhale the toxic smoke of provocation. We are beginning now. Father, in the authority of the Most High, and in the name that is above every name, I declare that the courts of heaven are open over this chosen one right now. I call for a divine ceasefire in the spirit realm. I command every distracting spirit, every tormenting voice, and every agent of confusion to step back. You have no jurisdiction here. This is holy ground. Lord, we acknowledge the battle. You see this heart. You see the tears they have cried in secret. You see the frustration of being misunderstood. You see the exhaustion of fighting battles they did not start. You see the wounds from the betrayal, the sting of the accusations, and the pain of the silence. We do not hide it. We bring it all to the altar. We lay down the need to be right. We lay down the addiction to justice. We surrender the heavy burden of trying to defend ourselves. And now, I activate the sealing. I seal the wisdom of the 7 forms against your mind. You will no longer be blind to the enemy's playbook. I break the power of the bait. I declare that you are immune to offense. When the snare is laid, you will step over it. I break the power of comparison. I declare that your eyes are fixed on your own lane. You will not look to the left or to the right. You are satisfied with your own portion. I break the curse of the silent treatment. I declare that you are whole without their validation. Their silence will no longer starve you, for you are fed by the bread of life. I shatter the power of public undermining. I declare that your authority comes from heaven, not from the approval of men. When they try to lower you, God will raise you up. I nullify every false accusation spoken against your name. Let every tongue that rises against you in judgment be condemned, not by your arguments, but by your fruit. The truth is your shield. I release you from the grief of the ghosting. I declare that who has left by divine assignment. The door is shut. The season is over. You are free. I bind the spirit of identity confusion. I command the fog to lift from your mind. You are who God says you are. You are chosen. You are royal. You are set apart. I seal the protocol of the sanctuary over your lips. I anoint your tongue with the power of strategic silence. I declare that from this moment forward, you will have the strength to pause. You will have the power to disconnect. You will have the grace to bless those who curse you. I install the gray rock of spiritual immunity into your nervous system. You are impenetrable. You are unshakable. You are a fortress. I prophesy over your next 40 days. I declare that because you have chosen to hold your peace, the Lord is fighting for you. I declare that while you are silent, God is rearranging the pieces on your board. The tables are turning. I declare that the very trap the enemy set for you will become your platform for promotion. I declare that your energy is returning to you. The leaks are plugged. The drain has stopped. You will sleep tonight with a peace you have not felt in years. You will wake up with a clarity that terrifies your demons. The harvest that was stolen from you is being restored 7-fold. Chosen one, do you receive this commission? Are you ready to walk as a king and not a pawn? Are you ready to let God be your judge and your defender. If you are ready, I want you to say yes loudly in your spirit. Shout it in the silence of your soul. Say, I receive it. Say, it is mine. Let the heavens record your agreement. Let the angels witness your stance. The contract with the enemy is cancelled. The cycle of reaction is broken. You are dismissed from the wilderness. Go in peace. Walk in silence. Watch God move. It is done.